Hey everyone, it's Chris here. Welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. This is really exciting. I'm here today to do my very first unboxing of anything that I've ever done on my channel, from what I remember. This is an amazing gift that's been sent to me by our very own Simon from the Hermit's Cave. Simon sent me a deck that he had 2 copies of, and he wanted me to have it. He said that, he knows that I'm a storyteller and I love stories and things like that, and this was a particular deck that he wanted me to have. Words can't describe how grateful I am to Simon for this. This is such a kind gift, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I've got a nice cup of tea here, and I've got some tools that I'm going to use to get into this bad boy. I've got a wee pair of scissors, and this is, I don't think I've showed you guys this before. So this is the wee chap that holds my letter opener. I thought it was quite cool. I think I might actually have got it for Sandy and then stole it off him, but tell anyone. So yeah, without further ado, I'll flip round the camera and we will unbox this thing. Right guys, so I'm going to unbox this here now. It only just fits into the camera shot, so it does, and I'm obviously going to be moving it about to get into it. So do forgive me if there's bits of this that you're not seeing and you're just listening to me yapping on. So obviously I know that Simon sent me a deck, but I think I can tell with the size of this box that there isn't just a deck in here. So I mean, we all know Simon is like, Simon's one of the most kind of kind-hearted and giving people that we all have the kind of honour and privilege of knowing in the community. Managed to black out my address because, don't want you all sending 100 Domino's pizzas my way. Right, okay, I've just realised the box that this is in actually has Simon's address on it, so I'm going to see if I can quickly get into this and then I'll be back with you, okay? Right guys, so we are in, and right away when I opened this I got, this smell of just yumminess. It's the smell of like kind of incense and different fragrances and stuff. It's the kind of smell that I get when I go into our kind of local tarot and occult shop. There's nothing quite like it, neither there is. So this is a wee card that Simon sent, so I'll open that myself later on. God, he sent loads of stuff. So Simon said that he was sending me some bits and bobs to say thank you to me, for Saturday. So look at that. That's amazing. I can I'll sit my cup of tea on it actually. Look, perfect. Thank you so much, Simon. That's lovely. I'll keep that on my desk. Yeah, so me and Simon did catching up with on Saturday together, and then he'd said he wanted to, send me this particular deck, and then when he sent it, he messaged me and said, I've sent a couple of bits and bobs just to say thank you for Saturday, as if Simon has to thank me for Saturday. It's me that owes Simon the thanks for Saturday, and this is kind of what I'm saying. He's such a giving person, he gives so much of his time, and it's to, for the community, that is to let, you know, the community get to know smaller YouTube channels, you know, and also to let us small YouTube channels kind of just kind of amplify ourselves a bit, kind of build our channels up. So the thanks really go to Simon. There you can see this is Californian White Sage Premium Masala Sticks. Smells so good. Midnight incense. Oh wow, it's a sage stick. I think this is a... I'm not sure it is. No, I'm not clued up on my different herbs and whatnot, but I think this might be white sage. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my eye on the camera to make sure I'm keeping things in shot. This may well be the worst video I've ever done, just because I'm not quite used to doing pre-recorded from this angle. But yeah, I think that's sage. I'm going to wrap that back up. Oh. Oh, look, a wee crystal. I'm going to shame myself here because you all know what I'm like with crystals. I'm going to guess amethyst, but I'm really not sure. It's lovely to hold. It's a stunning crystal. I like how it's smooth, you know, and pointed on one side, and yet on the other it's just rustic and organic. And the colour's stunning. Look at that. So yeah, I'll pop that back in its wee bag. So what we've got in here. Oh, oh wow, look. Now, is that tiger's eye that's made of? Again, not the best with my stones, but I think that this might be tiger's eye. So, all you lovely people that know your crystals and stuff, do shout at me in the comments and let me know. Oh look, it's perfect. And then we have deck here. So let me kind of move this out. Oh no, hang on, sorry. Beg your pardon. I think I popped this aside when I spotted the crystal. I got excited because I saw a shiny stone. Oh, it's some sort of oil. So Ashby aromatherapy, winter spirit, linen and room mist. Let's just, I'll try not to spray it in my tea, but let's just That smells so nice. Right, we pop everything off to the side and we can have a look at the deck that I've been sent. So he sent it in this beautiful bag, and I mean, I would imagine everyone's an avid watcher of Simon's channel, so you probably already know what this is by the bag, because this is the bag that Simon kept it in. But this is the Fairy Tale Tarot by Baba Studios. So let's see, I think it's that's an art card, isn't it? It's got this peacock and these birds. I've actually got a pet budgie, budgerigar, or in the US you might refer to them as parakeets, although I think over here parakeets tend to be a different thing. But look at this stunning piece of art. put that up to the side. The bag's lovely, it's this velvety kind of, it's got these wee stones. So this is the Fairy Tale Tarot, the Baba Studios one. It really is stunning. Four of Swords, Sleeping Beauty, taking a rest, taking time away from all the madness. It's funny, I don't know if anyone's read the Grimm's brothers version of Sleeping Beauty, but in that, the prince doesn't come and kiss Sleeping Beauty to wake her up. She actually, I'm just realised that we're kind of off to one side here. Let's just move these over. So the curse that's on Sleeping Beauty, or rather the bad fairy kind of curses her, and then the last fairy still to give her gift, and what she does is, instead of falling into death, she falls into 100-year sleep instead. And in the story, the 100 years actually go by, and the prince just happens to be happening upon the castle at the 100-year point, and that's when Sleeping Beauty wakes up, and when everyone starts waking up. So it's interesting. Five of Swords, Little Red Riding Hood. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm a wee bit captured here. You all know I love a Ten of Swords card that depicts movement. For me, I've said this before, for me the Ten of Swords is all about kind of moving on from all the chaos. It's not, you know, the traditional image that we tend to see, this kind of person lying with the swords on their back. For me, that's more a kind of shadow, meaning that's when you're refusing to kind of move on, to move with the times and change. And that, you know, you've got yourself stuck in that place. The Eight of Swords is Rapunzel, you know, let down your hair. This is really random, but I'm reminded of a joke. If anyone ever watched the series Will and Grace, it's just for the reason that it puts me in mind of this is because the swords is the sort of the intellect and the mind, and this is obviously about her letting down her hair. In one of the episodes of Will and Grace, there's basically this guy who comes out the closet. I think he's in his like 30s or 40s, and basically Will and Jack, two of the kind of gay characters in Will and Grace, take it upon themselves to kind of help him out. They take him under their wing, and the idea is just to kind of, without wanting to sound offensive, I'm a gay person myself, so in this kind of thing, this doesn't offend me, but they're basically taking it upon themselves to gay him up. They immerse him in gay culture and basically teach him, everything that they feel that he needs to know about, being a gay man. And Will says to Jack, you get the body and I'll get the mind. So Jack's going to kind of teach him how to dress properly and all that kind of thing, and Will's going to do the culture side of things. And Jack says, right, okay, but if you've got the mind and I've got the body, who gets the hair? Because it's kind of part of the body, but it grows out of the mind. It's one of those wee things that I always remember and makes me laugh every time I think about it. Anyway, sorry for that distraction. The Nine of Swords is the Little Mermaid. And you can see there, this is the Sea Witch. I take it this is the point where the Little Mermaid, she makes the decision to give up her voice and become human to try and find Prince Eric, the lovers. So what I'll do is I'll kind of skip a few cards at a time because I'm conscious that we are just going through them all. The Emperor. It's an interesting depiction of the Emperor, isn't it? And this isn't a story that I'm familiar with, so this is something I'm going to have to look up. Page of Swords. Seven of Swords, the Frog Prince. The Hierophant, the Five Wise Words of the Guru. Knight of Coins. Nine of Coins. The Six of Cups is Hansel and Gretel. Chariot's the Snow Queen. Just look at the kind of borders on this and everything. Everything is just, you know, this kind of style of the titles and the colours on this. I'm not really sure if my camera is good enough to pick them up, but the colours on this are absolutely out of this world. They're so bright and vivid. Oops. The boy who wanted to learn fear, the Four of Cups. Nine of Wands, the 12 Dancing Princesses. Page of Cups, Sadko. The Eight of Cups, brother and sister. So there we have it. The Fairy Tale Tarot. Just, oh yeah, that's a nice deck to shuffle. I believe that these are nice decks to riffle shuffle as well, but given the, you know, this is a rare deck, I think I'll be kind of treating this with the utmost care. So normally what I would do is I would put the deck in order and then kind of, you know, I actually find it quite therapeutic to kind of put a deck in order. It's one of my ways that I like to get to know the images and whatnot, but to be honest, with this one, I would then need to properly randomise it. I've got this thing where I need to riffle shuffle a deck 7 times after it's in order. So I think I might just kind of leave this one in the order that it's in. So shall we finish up by maybe pulling some cards from it? You know, I've not done my reading for the day yet, so why don't I do that from this deck and see how we get on. So let's think. So strengths, look at the Eight of Wands. This is actually, if you remember when we did catching up on Simon's channel, this was the card that he pulled. So it was, he pulled the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands quite often depicts speed, movement, you know, fast action, act now, that kind of idea. And we're kind of getting this by the, you know, the horses all moving. But the Eight of Wands is also a card about stability. Okay. And you might think, well, those are two opposite things. How can they work together? Well, you need sometimes, in order to kind of make that fast action successful, in order to be able to kind of act in that way, we need to be working from a stable base. Okay. So The horses, yeah, they're all running really quickly and they're all kind of galloping off to one, in one direction. But in order to achieve that, there has to be some amount of control, a degree of trust, a relationship between the riders and the horses, and to have them all going in one direction, kind of almost parallel to each other like that, that takes some amount of stability to begin with. And this is, for me, this is the idea of the Eight of Wands. It's the idea of movement from a stable base, or a stable structure giving way to progression and movement to places that you never previously thought possible. So that's my strengths card for the day. And sorry to keep harping on about it, if we think about the traditional Eight of Wands, we really only see the 8 wands moving through the air. And so this is why it maybe traditionally is more of a kind of fast movement. We don't really think about the stability aspect of it. And you might say to yourself, well, the Rider-Waite-Smith Eight of Wands doesn't depict stability. Well, I think it does, because if you look at those 8 wands, they're all moving parallel to each other in one direction, one system almost, one swift movement that's causing them to fly through the air. There must be some kind of real discipline and regimented kind of, it must have come from a real stable place to be able to achieve that. So I think that you can see it in the more traditional cards, we maybe just don't think about it as much. So that's the strengths. Now weaknesses for the day, we've got the Seven of Wands. Well, that's interesting. So right away I'm saying to myself, well, that's going one step back, Just taking a drink of tea. So the Seven of Wands is, it's really about standing your ground and defending yourself. The idea is you're being tested, and you're being tested by, the competition or the people around about you. But the message in the Seven of Wands is always for me to remember that you've got the high ground. It is a victory card, because the idea is you're fighting from a stable base. You're in a stable position. And although it might feel a bit like the odds are stacked against you, or that maybe you're being ganged up on, you're going to be triumphant in the end. So it's interesting in this card, because this looks to me like a wolf trying to get into where the lambs are. So you've got the kind of the lambs aren't outnumbered by the wolf. But obviously, if he's to get in there, there would be big trouble. But this looks to be like a kind of sturdy gate. I don't think he's getting in there anytime soon. And the lambs look as though they're ready to bop him in the head a few times. They're not giving up without a fight. So it's interesting to have that as a weakness card for the day. Just remembering my own strengths, I think, and believing in myself, standing up for myself. And then the third card I pull is for opportunity, and we've got the Four of Coins. So this makes me think of the opportunity to think about the things that I've got and how I'm investing, the things in my material life, It always kind of makes me stop and think, right, is there anything that I'm maybe hanging on to for fear of loss? The fisherman and his wife is the story. You can kind of see she's adorned with all these riches, and so I just need to get a closer look here. Is that trying to do it so you can see it too? So you can see someone's kind of out, looks as though they're kind of out battling the elements and stuff, and she's in a position where if she wanted to, she would be able to help, but I think the idea is she's too scared to lose all of the things that she's acquired. So she's kind of holding herself back for that reason. But I mean, really, when it comes to, you know, and it really makes me think, because I was saying there about how I'm scared to I'm going to treat this deck really gently, and I'm probably not going to riffle shuffle it and all that kind of thing. And it's kind of like, and I probably will do that. What I won't do is kind of just put it on the shelf and never use it, because for me anyway, this is here to be read. I believe that this is with me for me to read, you know, for me to read cards with. If I'm going to pop it on a shelf and, you know, and not give it the love it deserves, then there's, you know, that I almost don't deserve to have it, and it's not the best use of that tool. So yeah, that's what the Four of Coins makes me think of. And as an opportunity, maybe it is just talking about, it's encouraging me to kind of use this amazing gift. And don't be scared to kind of to give it the love and read it like it deserves. So the last thing I always do with my daily pull is I add up the numbers and I see what I see what we reduce it down to, kind of like you would do with your birthday, to get your kind of personality and soul cards and whatnot. So 8 and 7 is 15, plus 4 is 19. So it's interesting because we can get 3 cards out of this. So the personality of the reading is the sun, you know, and this is such a happy video, a happy day for me to receive such an amazing gift. You know, it does just kind of fill me with joy to have such a precious thing in my possession now. And I mean, the deck itself is obviously beautiful and it's amazing, and I'm lucky to have it, but the fact that it's come from someone so amazing as well, I'm going to cherish this forever. Now we can reduce the sun down, we can add the 9 and the 1 together to get the Wheel of Fortune, and then again they can add to get the Magician. So, you know, these are the kind of soul numbers, I guess. So this idea of the Wheel of Fortune, of things changing, you know, control the things that you can control, but the things that can't be controlled, don't waste all your time and energy on trying to control them. So things like the weather, you know, if you're a farmer, what can you control? Well, you can control, well, I realise as I'm picking this analogy that I'm not a farmer and I don't know anything about farming. I would imagine a farmer can control what crops he plants and when he plants them, and, you know, when he decides to kind of harvest them and things like that. What he can't control is when it's going to rain and when it's going to sun and things like that. So, you know, it's this idea of, you know, times are going to change, things are going to move. We're going to sometimes find ourselves at the top of the Wheel of Fortune, and sometimes we're going to find ourselves at the bottom. And that's something that we need to accept and we need to learn to live with. You know, to me, the most successful people in life are the people who are able to kind of adapt with the kind of the change of the wheel. And reducing it down further, it's the Magician, you know, and it's everything you need, all of the tools that you need, you've got already in your possession. This is the lesson that he teaches the Fool. It's the first lesson the Fool learns on his journey. You know, after he's jumped off that cliff, he starts to doubt himself, and he thinks, what on earth am I doing? I've got no idea how to kind of go about doing this myself. I've got nothing. And the Magician he happens across this street magician. The Magician magically opens up the Fool's satchel, or handkerchief, and shows the Fool the sword, the pentacle, the wand, and the cup. Says, look, you've got everything you need. And he kind of inspires the Fool. He kind of shows the Fool that you know, this is all I need. I can do it. If he can do this with these things, then so can I. So it's this idea of inspiration and being inspired to use the tools that we have to, you know, navigate our everyday lives. So this is certainly a tool that, as I say, I'm going to be using lots, because I want to honour it, you know, as the amazing gift that it is. So anyway, guys, I think you've heard me rambling on enough. Thank you so much again to Simon from the Hermit's Cave for this amazing gift. I'm lost for words, almost. I can still ramble, but I can't say anything eloquent, it would seem. Yeah, thank you so much for everything you do for all of us, and thank you so much for this lovely gift. Thanks to everyone who's watched this, who's made it all the way through to the end. I apologise for the rambling and the endless doting. I will love you and leave you here. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Take care, everyone. Thank you, and bye.